game 2 of the bubble action, and I am here to burst your fucking bubble. You know what? Let's not be so negative to start off. I'm sorry.
Yeah. Justice for the blind, just something that'll find in the rhymes that are coming from my mind.
All right, good morning, everybody. This is episode 41 of the 476ers podcast. We are going to be talking about the Spurs game, Sixers Spurs from last night, game 2 of the bubble action, and I am here to burst your fucking bubble. You know what? Let's not be so negative to start off. I'm sorry. I wake up negative. It's the morning. It's early. I haven't slept well, mostly because I was angry about the game, but also because, no. It's fine. Okay, let's talk about this game real quick. Let's talk about positives first. Let me. If you're watching, let me go over to the Sixers stat line here. Let's talk about some positives. Let's just start from the top. It's going to go left pretty quickly. Toby played okay. 17 shots to score 25 points. I've talked often here about Toby and being efficient. The last thing we want from Toby is to be a volume scorer, which is in the light of AI or even Kobe, rest in peace. A guy who's going to need 30 shots to get 40 points. But the difference is between those guys is everything they do opens up the floor, and Toby isn't quite that. I mean, Toby, he airballed a really bad shot down the stretch, down 2 with a minute and a half to go, and we were trying to come back. And, Toby, as he is wont to do, really does believe in himself to be one of those guys who can get us a bucket, and we've seen him do it. So let me be clear, because I said this in the other podcast that, he's been playing in a way that would go get it. When we need a bucket, he goes, gets it for us. So I don't want to shit on him. We got to keep that same energy. Like I always talk about, check out the other YouTube show. But anyway, keeping that same energy, he gets buckets for us. We should 100%. We got to respect that, right? He will get us a bucket, but airballing a ball down the stretch, that's not really helping us. You know what I mean? I don't understand how, I don't know what to say about that. You know what I mean? When we need a bucket, he's going to get us a bucket. I can respect that, but then you airball a ball down the stretch with it's a 15-footer. That's a little confusing. But aside from that, there was a video I saw recently talking about how the bubble, how people are shooting better in the bubble because of depth perception. And, I think that it's possible that we're hiding a lot of the hiding some of the negative things that we would see based on that, because guys are shooting a little bit better right now in the bubble. So guys like TJ fucking Warren, who, by the way, last night scored 34 against the Wizards, and the Wizards are the worst defensive team in the NBA. Okay, the worst defensive team in the NBA. TJ Warren scored 34. You know why? Because he's not Kobe Bryant. If he was Kobe, he would have scored 60 or something like that. But only we could give him up 53. I don't know. I don't want to rehash that. I'm sorry. So, I don't know. He played well, though. Toby did play well. I don't want to shit on him. He did play well. Kind of a tough position to be in. The Spurs lineup that they marched out was really small, really quick. And then when Pirtle got into foul trouble, even got fucking smaller. They had Lonnie Walker. They start the game with, what was it, Derek White, DeJounte, DeMar, and Lonnie Walker and Jacob Pirtle. And that's a really interesting lineup. I like it. You know what I mean? I like it. Again, this is just Pop being Pop, fucking us up as he does in this game. Ben, okay, let me move on past Ben. Joel played really, 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 really well. I'm going to be honest with you. He didn't stamp the game like he did necessarily against the Pacers, the game that we lost, although. But he played really fucking well. I'm confused by our rotations a little bit, because in the second quarter, listen, when Joe comes out the game, we still haven't figured this out. When Joe comes out the game, we collapse like 9 times out of 10. You know what I mean? And if Ben is going to do that, we don't stand a chance when Joe comes out the game. He's going to have to be playing 40 minutes a game or something like that, because he's getting out of control. And in the second quarter at one point, we couldn't get any separation on this team. And in the second quarter, Joe, it just felt like Joe sat for 10 minutes in the second quarter. I mean, it was crazy. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe it's just my perception. Just seemed like he sat for too many minutes. We needed him. We needed him maybe a little bit more. In 31 minutes, 27 points, 9 rebounds, 5 assists. He had 3 turnovers, 1 steal, and 0 blocks. But he was still active around the rim. And that shot, listen, the shot at the end, DeMar was set to win that game. DeMar was about to win the game. And Joe immediately collapsing to the basket when he saw DeMar essentially beat his man and have an open lane to the rim. Joe is the reason why DeMar has to end up flipping that shot to Jacob Hurtle, who is not a good offensive player by any stretch, really. It's because Ben collapses. I mean, it's because Joe collapses on that. And he had a lot of plays like that. I mean, anytime our defense is playing at its best, it's because Joe is patrolling the rim. He's just been moving quicker in and out of the box to avoid the 5 seconds. Like, we would see him do that earlier in the year, and he would do it half-assed and lazy. Right now, he's hopping in and out of the box to avoid a 5-second call and to discourage players from getting to the rim completely. Now, DeMar did hit a big layup going to the rim after he beat Josh Richardson off the dribble. I think, it was Josh off the dribble. But DeMar is a high-level finisher. You know what I mean? And I bet if you gave Joe 10 of those shots, Joe probably does not allow the majority of those shots to go in. But, DeMar is a high-level finisher. He's a high-level offensive player. I know we forget about DeMar often because the Spurs have been bad. And because the way it fell apart in Toronto, it fell apart in a way that we discarded DeMar from our memories almost, because it was they fall apart against Cleveland, they trade for Kawhi, they win a championship, and since then they've been operating like a championship team. But DeMar is one of the best Raptors of all time, and is a certified bucket getter. I mean, he had a 3 against us, which is a thing he never does. But only we could manage to allow someone to do that. Josh had a bounce-ish back game because he had a bounce-back game because he looked for his own shot. Let's just be honest. He looked for his own shot. Now, he was 5 for 15. That's not really good, but he scored 19 points, had some free throws, hit some threes. I thought he played pretty well defensively. Was aggressive on defense early, getting deflections and whatnot. I don't think he played poorly. The 19 points don't feel as bad as 5 for 15. It didn't feel as bad as 5 for 15, I'll say. But obviously we would like to see more efficient Shake. Obviously, Shake bounces back big time. 16 points, 5 rebounds, and 3 assists in 26 minutes. Good for Shake, man. Good for Shake, because he, I'm going to be honest, at the beginning of the game, when I saw, Joe was going around giving everybody like low fives, in a circle kind of as they're introducing players. And I literally almost fucking died watching him give Shake the high five, because Shake did the good old dab, turned my head away in disgust because I hate this human being, which is a thing I do for people I hate, who I reserve. I can't hide my hatred and anger on my face. And Shake did that. But as the game went on, and credit to Joe, Joe is learning something. I don't know what it is. Joe is learning something, because Joe has come into this bubble. For someone who didn't want to come into the bubble, Joe has come into the bubble uber positive. You know what I mean? Uber positive. His body language earlier this year was fucking disgusting. Like, the type of body language, man, I'm telling you, I am a body language king. You know what I mean? Not to be too Bill Simmons-ish, but I am all about body language. And I'm this way in my personal life when I just see people out. If I'm at a club or at a bar and I'm looking at people's body language there, I am a body language aficionado. And Joe's body language at the beginning, at the outset of this year, was abysmal. Even on his good games, his body language wasn't this good. And his body language, to his credit, has been really, really good. He's done everything he can, did everything he could this game to make public shows of support to Shake. After what happened, dapping him up every chance he got. The game-winning shot. It's immediately, as soon as Shake goes down, Joel sprinting over to pick him up. Seeing more Joe and Ben kind of interacting in positive ways, a lot of back padding and stuff like that. That's exactly what you want to see. This is what being a great teammate is, right? This is the Tim Duncan school of being a teammate. You know, let's be honest. This is a Tim Duncan school. There's a reason why, as Ala pointed out, that he's wearing that number. This is the Tim Duncan school of being a good fucking teammate, is showing your teammate that they have your trust, and that even when they fuck up, I'm great enough that I can back you up, right? Because that's what Timmy would do for Tony. That's what Timmy would do for Manu. I can clean your mistakes. You know what I mean? Stay aggressive. I got your back, right? And Joe's been showing that at least for these 2 games in the bubble. Even with Al Horford, I would say better interactions with Al. So Shake, he hits that game-winning shot. Good for him. We'll talk about that play in a moment and everything that fucked. Anyway, I'm not going to be negative yet. Al Horford played well. You know, Al Horford played well. Al, considering that Ben fouled out of the game in one of the most pathetic fucking fashions I've ever seen, Al stepped in the lineup that we hate. Now, again, let's be clear. What we've been talking about for so long here is that the Al, Ben, and Joe pairing sucks. That's the fact. That's the problem. So you're always going to pick Ben over Al. There's no question. I'm sorry. You got to pick Ben over Al, right? But if you can spread the floor, you can work the Al Joe thing, because they can spread the floor enough that if you have 3 other guys who can spread the floor effectively, it can work for sure. Al is not the same defender that he was, though, so that's a problem. And he's just not the same offensive player that he was. He's just not bouncy enough. But he can come in and do spots, so he played well. And our defense did not suffer at all when Ben left. In fact, our defense probably picked up when Ben left, and we'll talk about that in a moment. So Al played well. Al also, I think, didn't force his offense to come, because that's been a problem in the past, is that for some reason when Al and Joe were in the game, Al is demanding the ball in the post. And it's like, no, but you're not the better option here, Al. You're not the better option here. Now, credit to Joe real quick, too. Let me swing back to Joe, because the other thing that I want to say about Joe is passing better than he's passed all year. At the beginning of this year, I thought Joe forgot how to pass the ball correctly. And Joe, to his credit, has always been lauded as somebody who is just able to learn on the fly. You know, you just say, hey, go do this thing, and he learns it in a snap. You know what I mean? Just learns the shit. So Joe passed the ball really well. He had 3 turnovers. I think he had 2 turnovers really early, if I'm not mistaken, though. Like in the first quarter, I was joking around about how when Joe sees I sent a GIF to one of my homies, that when every time Joel sees a guard, and it was the Dak meme when he pulls back to throw the ball and loses the football on the cockback. That's Joe every time he sees a guard. He just loses the ball. And I think he had 2 turnovers in the first quarter. I want to say, I might be wrong, and then 1 turnover in the last 3 quarters. He played really, really well. I can't give him the praise. He played super duper duper well. I was very, very happy with this Joe game. It was a little bit grittier, you know, not as sexy, not the sexier numbers. I mean, 27, 9, and 5 is still very, very good. I think we're more used to the 27, 12. And then like 9 for 14 shooting and 12 free throws, something like that. He was 9 for 17. He was still good. You know what I mean? 0 for 2 from 3. But he played really, really well. So anyway, the point being that Al, I think sometimes guys like Al being a good passer, it could fall in his head earlier in the season that maybe he should get the opportunities in the post because he can move the ball better. And it looks like he's finally stopped that. You know what I mean? He's just letting the game come to him, which is if you're not Joe, if you're not Ben, that's exactly who you're going to be. Let the game come to you. Even Toby, let the game come to you. Toby is a high-level let the game come to me player, right, where it's like the game's going to come to me, and I'm going to capitalize on every single one of those situations, and that's how I'm going to end up with 25, 30 points. Joe, I'm going to go take this fucking game because I'm great enough. Ben, I'm going to go take this fucking game because I should be great enough. Everyone else, Shake, Al, Josh, let the game come to you. Furkan played pretty well. No complaints about Furkan. He played okay, but played as a good bench player. Matisse had some bad fouls. He had some bad fouls. 2 and 1s, 1 on a 3-pointer, 1 on Rudy Gay. I listen, Matisse, I get it. You know what I mean? You're an uber aggressive defensive player, but you got to calm down just a teeny bit. Listen, you're not going to block Rudy Gay. You're Rudy's height. You know, and Rudy gets up, and if he beats you off the dribble and he's pulling up for a jump shot, whatever you think you're going to do to contest that shot, you're not going to be able to do it. You know what I mean? You need to rely on your help defense in that situation instead of trying to block that, or it's just going to be a bucket. You know what I mean? You got to be careful. I get it, and I don't want you to not be aggressive. You got to be a little bit smarter. Raul Net-Zero, who I'm seeing people are now calling him Net-Zero. Shout out to me. I'm the first person who I ever heard call him Net-Zero. He played okay. Whatever. I mean, just a terrible defender. Immediately comes in a turnover. I think he had 3 turnovers and 2 or 2 turnovers and 3 personal fouls in 11 minutes. I mean, he just 11 minutes of action and all the negativity is just crazy. His willingness of negative. I'm seeing a lot of colors going off in the background here, by the way. It's because my TV is on, so it's not because I'm in the middle of Beirut. Alec Burks, again, he was going to have a down game. He is not meant to play 2 games in a row well. So 3 points, whatever. It just just didn't do a lot, didn't offer a whole lot. Well, it was a nice 3-pointer. And you know what? Hold on real quick, because Toby's become a better passer too. Between the time of the lockdown and right now, Toby is one of the worst passers I had seen or earlier this season. I was like, this is the worst passer in the NBA. Now, some of this could be because of the game plan, guys not understanding the game plan, or the game plan also being trash and guys not being locked in, that they're making passes they're not even sure of. I've talked about in the past how passing requires confidence as much as shooting does. You know what I mean? Because if you're not sure, sometimes you short arm and pass, it gets stolen. You're throwing passes you're just not sure of, and you're telegraphing them. They're getting tipped. And passing requires a swagger about it too. That's why Ben is such a good passer. He has like a swag with his passing that if he would copy over into his offensive arsenal, he'd probably just be a way more effective offensive player, generally scoring the basketball. Toby made some good passes. The reason I bring that up is because Toby had a good pass where he swung a pass, like a hard, good pass in the shooting pocket to Alec in the left corner for a 3-pointer. And he had a couple good passes. Toby had a couple good passes. Good for him. He's really kind of passing the ball well. I mean, this is what you want to see, right? Look at this starting lineup here is a combined, 10, 14, 16, 19 assists between our starting 5. I like that a lot. That we've talked about in the past, man. A lot of guys, but what made the Warriors great, aside from Steph and Clay shooting, obviously, a lot of great stuff, right? But what made them great, the way that they were built, the reason why they didn't necessarily trade Clay and weren't going to trade Draymond and all those guys, because what they like to do is have a starting 5 of playmakers, right? They want to start in 5 guys who can go out, make plays. Maybe none of them have 10 assists a game, but Steph has 7, Clay has 3, Draymond has 4 or 5, Andre has 3 or 4, Harrison Barnes, when he was there, has 3 or 4, Andrew Bogut has 4 or 5, right? A bunch of guys who are going to have a bunch of assists, a bunch of playmakers, guys who can move the ball, smart, high IQ players, and that's almost what we got yesterday. Good ball movement. So offensively played well. Now let's talk about the bad here. Defensively, we're a fucking joke right now. I mean, this is fucking pathetic. The Spurs are 12th in offensive efficiency, and we gave up buckets to them like we were playing the fucking Mavericks, who are like one of the all-time great offensively efficient teams this year. We played our offense. Our defense is a fucking joke right now. Whoever Ben is guarding right now, understand right now, whoever Ben is guarding is scoring buckets. And this is going to be too simple to go 1-to-1 here, but understand that Ben spent a lot of time with DeMar, and then when Rudy Gay came in the game, he spent a lot of time on Rudy, and guess what? These were the 2 highest scorers on the Spurs team. Ben has forgotten completely how to play defense. I've never seen something like this. He fucking fouled out of the game. I was joking about how Jacob Poeltl yesterday had 2 fouls, like in the first 6 minutes of action, not even the first 4 minutes. And Jacob Poeltl outlasted Ben. Ben fouled out midway through the 4th quarter, and we had to go with the Al lineup, and our defense immediately got better. Ben has forgotten how to play defense. He got to cut his fucking hair. I stand by that. I believe that. He's got to cut his hair. My man cannot play defense any longer. I don't understand what happened to him. I don't know who did this to him. You know what I mean? Aside from his poorest offense, I mean, he was a non-factor yesterday completely. You know what I mean? You could watch that game easily and not even think he played. He had one great pass to Toby, driving in Toby with a backdoor cut. Ben looked off the defender and swung a bounce pass to him. It was a beautiful pass. It's Ben really at his best. But he's completely forgotten how to play defense, fouled out of the game. I mean, gave up buckets, fouls out. It's the worst possible situation you can have. Our defense right now is fucking pathetic. It's pathetic. We can't be one of the best teams in the – listen, here's one thing. I'm going to give us a quick small out. The bubble games have all been mad competitive. You know what I mean? For the majority. Now, not all of them have been mad competitive, but for the majority. Listen, the Celtics played the Trailblazers the other day. The Trailblazers, who are a better team than the Spurs, but they played the Trailblazers the other day. They were beating them by 20. And the Trailblazers brought it all the way back through the third and fourth quarter, and it became a super-duper competitive game all of a sudden. Not a lot of teams are getting blown out. The teams who have the ability to blow other teams out are the true contenders. You know what I mean? But right now, the Raptors' defense, I mean, the Raptors are playing defense at an all-time high level. Their defense is fucking swarming. No one wants to play the Raptors, I promise you. They're not the best offensive team. They have a lot of guys. They have a lot of offensive guys, but they don't have the superstar bucket getter guy, right? But their defense is so fucking excellent, it doesn't even matter right now. It don't even fucking matter. No one wants to play the Raptors. The Celtics are dangerous. The Bucks are the Bucks. And then there's us. The Heat lost yesterday. Thank goodness we won this game. The Heat lost to the Nuggets yesterday. But our defense, if we don't have the game plan, we don't have the floor spacing to get into shootouts with any of the good teams. You know what I mean? We don't have what it takes to get into a real shootout with any of the good teams. We need to be going on the strength of our defense. And when Joe comes out the game, our defense falls a fucking part immediately. Immediately. You can look at some of our best defensive stretches are only times when Joe's in the game. Honestly, it's when Joe's in the game. At the end of the game, we had some great defensive stretches. At the beginning of the game, we had great defensive stretches. Moments in the third quarter, we had good defensive stretches. But other than that, I mean, our defense was fucking abysmal. Just straight pathetic. And then let's talk about this fucking game winner. Let's talk about this game winner, because Brett is really skirting by on the strength of the playmaking of the great players, or not even the great players, of the good players. That game-winning shot by Shake was really fucking. It's really off the strength. Again, thank God for Joe. It's off the strength of Joe, because DeJounte is collapsing to ensure that they can't get the ball to Joe. Joe is being double and triple teamed all game. And DeJounte is essentially saying, you're going to have to get this to somebody else to beat us. We're not letting Joel Embiid get this fucking ball. Okay? They pass it to Shake, right? Al passes to Shake. Shake, as I pointed out about the TJ Warren three-pointer the other day, Shake gets a full 1-2, a dribble 1-2, in rhythm, shoots it. Great shot by Shake. Good job, Shake. Way to be ready. Way to be confident. He could have easily been shook from the last game, and to Shake's credit, this is what people know him for, essentially, is being having a short memory when it comes to, maybe if he has a bad game, he bounces back immediately the next game. So credit to Shake. Hits that three-pointer to essentially win us the game. But then, I mean, this is fucking – you're not going to convince me this makes any sense. All right, so DeMar misses the layup. We get the rebound. We get the ball. We inbound it to Embiid. We almost fucked that up. We throw a bounce pass to Joel. For some reason, we vacillate between stupid bounce passes to our big men or lobs, like lob passes that everyone can get to, as opposed to throwing a pretty direct pass at Joel's target. Joel is 7'3", and his reach is like 96 feet tall. Throw it at the 96-foot tall hand. Throw a strong pass. He's either going to get fouled when they go for it, or he's just going to catch it and it's good. No, we throw a bounce pass to Joe, which is not pretty. It's dangerous. Trust me, it's a dangerous pass. Not smart at all. Throw a bounce pass to Joe. Joe gets the ball. Goes to the free throw line. Spurs have 0 timeouts. There's 0.4 seconds left. And for some reason, we're down. We're up 1. Joe hits the first free throw, 2. Brett tells him to miss the third one. And I'm sitting there mad confused. Why would you want him to miss the third one? Because what happens as soon as he misses the third one? I'll tell you what happens. DeMar immediately gets the rebound and launches it full court. And if it drops, it was good. Let's be clear. If he would have dropped it, it would have been good. As I'm watching Brett scream to him, miss it, because this is not a 2020 reaction. I literally messaged my homie, why is Brett telling him to miss this? Because it's 0.4 seconds. This is not NBA. This is not 2K. All right, this is not a video game. In 2K, in 0.4 seconds, you can run. I can have Patty Mills sprint full speed up the sideline and launch a dart that will land in his shooting pocket and allow him to shoot the ball and possibly make it in 0.4 seconds in 2K. Only that exists in 2K. In the real world, there is no way an NBA player with 0.4 seconds is going to sprint up the sideline, catch it like Des Bryant, and then launch it at the same time. They're going to have to catch it, turn, and shoot at the same time. All right? And I'd rather take the chance being up 3, take the chance they do that than what happened yesterday where we purposely missed the fucking free throw. Up 2, DeMar gets the rebound, launches it full court. There was actually a second where I really hoped he made it. I hoped he made it because if he would have made it, I would have been scream fire fucking Brett. I've had enough. I've had enough. Just what an insane thought process. No, miss it on purpose because there's no way somehow they're going to – listen, they're going for a fucking heave no matter what. The last fucking thing you want is a miracle Hail Mary heave that drops and you're only up 2. And then you're only up 2. Just doesn't make sense. Maybe I'm wrong. I'm not an NBA coach. I'm not an NBA coach. Okay? Let's be clear. I'm not an NBA coach. Maybe I'm stupid. I could be stupid. I'm stupid. It's not even maybe I'm stupid. I'm stupid. I'm dumb as shit sometimes. So maybe I don't know what I'm talking about. But I can't imagine that makes any sense. We're going to miss this and give them the opportunity to launch this shit full court? It didn't make any sense to me. I'm going to be honest with you. It didn't make any sense to me. Brett really, again, Brett gets washed up. Look at this fourth quarter here. Look at the fourth quarter, 43 points. I mean, our defense is fucking pathetic. Our defense is a joke right now. We go up 10. Listen, again, the Spurs are fighting for their life, so it's a little bit different. Let me give a little positive spin if I can here. The Spurs are fighting for their life. Every single game right now for them is win or go home, essentially. You know what I mean? And these guys have pride. You think DeMar doesn't have pride? You don't think DeMar is like, nah, I want to win. I want to get to the fucking playoffs. I don't give a fuck if I'm playing the Lakers. I don't think guys think like that. You know what I mean? Like, if you're competitive, you're competitive. You don't give a fuck about the odds. That doesn't mean anything to you. I don't care about. I'm ultra competitive, and we could go play basketball, and I can see the best players on the other team, and that shit is gonna wake me up, man. That's gonna make me want to play harder. I am not one who just would quit on something like that, and I don't think these players are either. Maybe they are. I don't know. I just can't imagine that these guys are like that. If you're telling me that there's going to be a basketball, there's going to be 2 rims, I'm here to fucking win. And the Sixers are not necessarily playing for anything particular. We should be playing for positioning, but I'm going to be honest. I think the Sixers do believe in themselves in a way that's like, it don't matter who we play. We could beat anybody. Because it's true, we could beat anybody. Theoretically, we could. One, technically, you could beat anybody, right? That's just technically. But theoretically, based on our talent level, we can beat anyone in the NBA. I do truly believe that. I don't think the best team in the NBA is markedly better than the Sixers by any stretch of the imagination. And in fact, I would argue that we are the most talented team in the NBA when shit is going right. That is our biggest caveat, is that when shit is going right, or when people are bought in, or when people are trying. But when we have games like yesterday, I don't know what I'm looking at. I don't know what happened to Ben's defense. Ben hurt his back. Maybe that set him back. I don't know. But listen, that has to be something. He came off an injury, so he hasn't been playing as much basketball as maybe the other guys. I don't know. I mean, I was making excuses. Ben has completely forgotten how to play defense, and I don't know what else to say about that. I mean, he's gone from first team all defense potential, defensive player of the year potential to I don't know what the fuck I'm doing right now on defense. I'm just fouling or giving up shots. And it's just, again, as I said, Pop just wiping Brett Brown up and down the sideline. Just out coaching him at every turn. Somehow Joel gets Jacob Pirtle, 7'2", Jacob Pirtle in the foul trouble within the first few minutes, and we can't figure out. We all of a sudden, I made this comment yesterday, and it's the truth. You know this is watching Sixers games. For some reason, whenever we end up with a shorter player on Joe, we have no idea how to then get the ball to Joe. We just we run every other play after that. You know what I mean? It's the equivalent if let's say you're playing football and let's say Ray Lewis gets injured, right? Or let's say I don't know, let's say Fletcher Cox gets injured. Well, I don't want to say Fletcher Cox. He's on our team. Let's say whoever the best defensive tackle in the NFL is gets injured outside of Fletcher Cox. Let's say he gets injured. And for some reason, they bring in somebody who's a lot worse at defensive tackle. And for some reason, we never decide to exploit that mismatch. We never say, okay, cool, let's go back to passing the ball now. Or whatever, right? We just don't decide to say, let's run the ball up the gut here when we need a 1 yard because this dude is not going to stop anything from happening. And it's the same here. It just, they bring in Devin Eubanks, 6'9". He can't stop Joe. If AB, if Rudy, if no other player can stop Joel Embiid, you think Devin Eubanks can stop him? No, but we can't figure that out. We never figure out how to exploit those mismatches. I just be confused by that. I don't understand it. So it's just, again, Brett getting outcoached by whomever's on the other sideline, telling Joe to miss the free throw on purpose. Very confusing. That 3-point shot, again, that's an accident. It's an accident if you watch the shot. Listen, I'm glad that Shake hit it. It makes me very happy. But it was an accident if you watch it. You know what I mean? Al is kind of like, what do I do? What do I do? And then he just, hey, why don't you take the ball? And then Shake's like, okay. And then he shoots it. You know what I mean? It wasn't like we drew up a good play design that got us what we needed. You know what I mean? And Shake just said, fuck it. I'm taking this 3-pointer and I'm going for the win. Good for him for hitting the shot. That was a shot masking terrible coaching. That's what that was. Offense that masked bad coaching. So yeah, that's it. I'm happy we won. I just don't feel good about it. You know what I mean? And I don't know now. Again, you know what it is that we looked great during the scrimmage because it looks like we were the only team trying during the scrimmage, and then the other scrimmage teams were like, oh yeah, I guess we'll play these games. I guess we'll play this other preseason. You know what I mean? And the Sixers came into that preseason like those games counted. You know, and now we're here in real life, and our defense is a fucking joke right now. That's all I'm gonna say. Our defense is a joke. Ben is reminding everyone why people were saying Brandon Ingram is better than Ben. Ben is reminding everybody why people were saying that right now. Because Brandon Ingram is balling. You know what I mean? He's playing really, really well. They're playing for their lives. You know, he had a couple. Him and Zion probably had their first good game together as one yesterday against the Grizzlies. You know what I mean? Ben is reminding everybody why people said Brandon Ingram might be better than him. Ben, you got to bounce back, bro. What are you going to do? You know, what's it going to be? What's it going to be? You know, what's it going to be? I don't know. That's it for now. We play the Wizards tomorrow at 4. You know, I don't know. We'll probably give up 200 points to them. They score a lot. So we'll probably give up 250 points easy in regulation. Hopefully it doesn't go to overtime. That's a 300. That's a 3-piece right there. 300 piece. That's it, everyone. Wash your hands. Listen, good win. Thank you for winning, Sixers. Let me not end this on such a depressing note. Sixers, good win, baby. Let's go. Wizards tomorrow, very winnable game. Let's beat the fucking Wizards. Let's continue this good momentum we got from winning at yesterday's game against the Spurs. Listen, a team that's competitive, 2-0 in the bubble, leading up into this game, even though they came off a back-to-back, but it's fine. I'm not going to be negative. Good for us. We won the game. Yay. Right? That's the Master P thing. Anyway, everyone, stay safe. Wash your hands. Wear your masks. Wear your mask. wear the mask. Wash your stupid fucking hands. Wear your stupid fucking mask. Don't even talk to me. If you see me in public, if you're not across the street from me, don't talk to me. You know what I mean? And in fact, if you want to talk to me, walk across the street first, and then you can talk to me. That's it. Stay safe, everyone. Black Lives Matter, always. Arrest the cops who killed Breonna Taylor. Say her name, all of it. Everything. Keep it real. Take care of yourselves, everybody. It's going to be raining the next couple of days. Enjoy the rain. I love the rain. Rain is cleansing. Cleanses your spirit. Cleanses the palate of bullshit. Right? Enjoy the rain, everyone. Take care. Peace out.
Yo. Yo. Justice for the blind. Just something that'll find in the rhymes that are coming from my mind. Used to come